And she's taking all the elves. She's getting custody of the elves.
I've lost the factory?
I only get to see him every other weekend. For those
Christmas
listening-
delayed this year because Santa wasn't feeling up to it.
All right, roll the intro.
Evening, officer. Is something wrong?
Don't worry, son. Routine traffic stop. We got reports of someone driving under the influence. You know anything about that?
Oh, wouldn't it be me? I'm only under one influence.
And what would that be?
The influence of Jesus.
It's time for Under the Influence.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children.
Look at that lasagna.
Nice.
Welcome back to another episode.
That was
Welcome back to
That was actually
welcome
unintentional.
back
You're
to
interrupting me.
another
Yeah, there it is,
episode
yeah.
of
Oh, he's not gonna
Under
say
the
anything unless I
Influence.
talk. Dude,
I'm
the
your
whole
host,
episode,
Jude
the entire episode, you'll only
Why
talk
is the
if
intro
I
music
talk?
coming back? They're playing me off.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop that. Stop. Stop it. Stop. Stop. I don't want to play this game anymore. Stop it. Cut the music. Welcome back to another episode of Under the Influence. I'm one of your three hosts, Jude Crane, joined by your two other hosts.
Jerry Crane.
And
Levi Teason.
Jason Statham, Zach Galifianakis, Bruce Willis. The dynamic trio.
Yeah.
What is it?
The Terrible Three.
No, there's a word for three that people go. It's like the
The Tremendous
Trinity.
Trio.
Oh, like-
the Trinity.
something about trouble. That's double trouble. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Triple Threat.
Triple threat.
That's
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Oh no, you got rid of your.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Oh, you did.
Oh,
Guys,
he
stop.
just.
I
has
mean,
a
this
mustache
is a
and
cleaner
soul
look.
patch.
It's so much cleaner.
You know
look.
who's going to be disappointed?
Everyone.
I know the guy that wanted to see them.
Your biggest fan.
My biggest fan.
This is your shout out. You haven't gotten one yet, but Jacob
Jacob, my biggest fan.
Ackelmeyer.
Probably my closest friend too. If we're
Right,
honest.
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
known
keep
Jacob
fueling that parasocial
pretty much
relationship.
since.
he
Well,
was
as long
born.
as I can remember.
You know that you're not supposed to have the parasocial relationship, right?
I have it with I see Jacob like a brother and a father at the same time.
Whoa, weird.
He yeah, we go back. We grew up together.
No, I was talking to him yesterday at Christmas gathering over at their house. It was a wonderful time, by the way. I had a great day. And I was just trying to describe your facial hair to him, and he was like, "No way, that's not a good look." And I was like, "You don't get it. On Jude, it does look good.
It looks
Well,
good, dude. I
good.
love them.
well,
And so I texted you, and I was like, "Please send a photo so that I can show him."
I have one.
And
good
you sent me a
of it.
photo, okay? Because it wasn't that one.
No, I sent you a terrible Snapchat.
Yeah, because it
photo.
doesn't really show it off.
No, because I was
But I was-
playing a card game. Didn't
but
have
still.
time to get good light.
Well, you could have sent me the good photo then.
It's true. I could have. I'll send it Jacob's way through our text chat that we have.
Yeah.
Is that your?
But I was just trying to show him because I was like, no, you got to understand. It actually looks good.
I promise it looks good.
You wouldn't think, yeah. And you sent me this derpy looking photo of you. Like, honestly, they were like, Perry was like, the face he's making. And I was like, I don't remember what she said it looked like. It just looked ridiculous. And I was like, it looks like he's really trying to hold in a fart. Like, you were like just imagine that, listener. Like, Jude, just like squeezing his face together a little bit. Awkward smile. His eyes are squinting. He's like,
Yeah, that was it.
and didn't show off the facial hair at all. But
Oh, it was my face.
for the people, yeah, that's not what nobody wanted to see your face. He wanted to see the hair on it.
Oh.
You sent a picture just close up of the
Yeah.
hair that's on your face. No, it looked cool. I think it looked good. As it got a little longer and scruffier, I think it actually looked. I actually don't know if I liked it better when it was clean or
It
not.
was
but-
so much better clean and
no,
shorter.
you're right. So you just have to keep it short.
I
That's not
suppose,
hard.
yeah, sure, I could,
But no, do what
It
you
ran
want.
its
I mean,
course.
this is a good look too. I like
fun.
the mustache soul patch look with the 5 o'clock shadow,
thank you.
or just scruff, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a bit of scrub.
Call it what you want. I call it
It's
dashing.
scruff is in. It's been in for a little while.
No,
I
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
It's not really
I'm all
5
about
o'clock
scruff.
shadow.
No, it's
because
scruff.
that's
Yeah, it's way past 5 o'clock shadow.
no.
I've been
Well,
rocking
like,
scruff for a while, and I like it.
5 o'clock shadow is only certain people can have it because you have such a density of
Yeah.
hair, but it's so short. It's just
Yeah.
literal
Again,
shadow.
shout out again to Caldwell Pete's.
Caldwell.
Dude, the
Great
king,
5
the king of
o'clock
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like literally every time I imagine when somebody says 5 o'clock shadow, I literally think of Caldwell.
Yeah.
Because every time I see him, not every time I see him, but like there have been plenty of times I've seen him, and I'm like, whoa, you have the embodiment of 5 o'clock shadow. It's impressive.
Every Friday.
Like the cartoons where they just make the person's like lower half of their face just gray.
Yeah.
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 Every day
Just
at
like
5 o'clock. if he
And this is not a
sees his
slight.
own
I
shadow,
think it's impressive.
There's another day of spring.
Sorry, you want to say that again? I don't think they heard it.
Every day at
overspoke.
5 o'clock, if Caldwell sees his shadow, there's another day of spring.
That was pretty
If
funny.
he doesn't, then he. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Guys. Oh, thank you. I'll be here all night. I'll,
We'll laugh at the end. It's so pathetic.
my fans, my biggest fans. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't think Jacob had gotten a shout out yet, but he deserved one. He's a longtime listener.
He does deserve
Big fan.
many a shout out.
He's always one of the first when the episode
He still
comes
hasn't
out.
called in.
It's true.
That would be fun. I bet
could-
I
we
bet
could
he'd
phone
love it.
in
I don't know.
Jacob.
I'd have to ask him about it. That would be fun. Maybe we should do a segment. It's not like a guest segment, but it's like we just call.
Call
Tell somebody
your
like, hey,
friend.
there's a chance we'll call you. Listen for it and answer. And if we do, and they just like, how's it going?
Oh, I'm in
And we talk
labor.
for a little bit and then let
I'm in labor. I'm in labor.
them go. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I'm in labor.
Jerry Seinfeld is delivering a child.
What about the baby Jews?
Ew.
The baby Jew, the God in human flesh.
Oh, I thought you said
Jesus.
because isn't Jerry Seinfeld Jewish?
Well, yes, he's Jewish,
yes,
but
very.
no,
Very.
'tis the season for
Oh, the baby,
baby,
Jew.
The baby.
The Jewish baby,
the Jewish baby.
the one above all Jewish babies.
That feels wrong to say,
But I don't think
I
so
mean,
because he's
that
the
is
King of Kings, the Lord of
correct.
Lords,
he is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. He is
The baby of all
the baby of babies.
the baby.
Well, he was the baby of all babies.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, B theory.
Be
It's and always will be. Baby theory.
Baby theory.
baby.
It is Christmas time, and for those listening, it's a few days after Christmas.
That's true. But for us,
But for us, it's
Christmas morning.
exactly 1 week. What? No, we're recording this on
This is
morning.
Christmas night.
It's nope. It's exactly a week away from Christmas. for us.
this is Christmas.
did you guys send letters to Santa?
I served him papers actually.
You served Santa papers.
Oh, a letter from Jerry, my favorite Northwestern man. Oh,
That's another one for the naughty list.
I guess we'll be seeing him in court.
what? But Mrs. Claus.
Read the letter, Santa.
Santa, you missed the Mrs. Claus in there.
Claus.
I want a divorce. I want a divorce.
I'm serving their divorce papers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how depressing would that be if you show up? You're like,
Dude, that would
aren't they
be
couriers
a
that do that or
Christmas for
whatever?
the books.
It could be anyone.
I mean,
there are
it's
services.
a bit presumptuous to call them couriers.
What's the word?
Servers.
Well, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there is like a service.
Oh, is there a word for it?
Like sometimes notaries do it, don't they? Like you'll hire a notary or whatever. Somebody. There's
Well,
somebody.
you just
a
hire
lot of the
people to
time
do
you
it.
just hire some, a specific guy that will just go and.
I thought there was like, there's places that like have people that
Yeah.
do that, right? Yeah.
Oh.
So can you imagine the one you're like sitting there on your desk waiting for another one to come in? It's like, hey, your 3 o'clock appointment's here. It's like, oh, okay, send him in. And he's like, I'm gonna, I need you to serve some papers for me. And you're like, Santa Claus?
Santa Claus?
Or no, it would be Mrs. Claus. Just this old lady is like,
Yeah.
I need you to serve some papers for me.
I need you to
I need you to find the man
ma'am,
that no adult has seen,
Yeah.
and every child has tried to see but never has.
It's I'll pay you a premium. It's a long ways away, and it's in the snow.
Well, I mean, it's pretty snowy all over El Paso. Is it
El
Is
Paso.
it within town?
It's
No,
the
it's-
North Pole.
All the way north.
Oh, Dallas.
Like
She's so used to her
I don't
husband.
know where Texas is.
She's so
Like
used to her
Cody,
husband
Wyoming?
being able to go across the entire world so instantly that it's just like breaks logic.
What
for
kind of reindeer do
this,
you ride?
This guy to be able to just make it there.
Bronco.
A Bronco.
Well, when you get there, give the jolly fat man these papers.
and then you get there and it's this treacherous journey through the snow. You roll up and you're like, this is crazy. Walk in and you're like,
Finally found
all these elves
I'm
like
serving Santa Claus divorce papers.
they're giving you like milk and cookies and like all this stuff. And Santa invites you in and he's like, sit down, and then he knows you by name because he's like
down,
he's been following the list and checking it twice.
You're one of my good boys.
Yes.
Oh no.
Never a coal in your stocking.
Santa. Santa.
You remember that time that I let it slide that you
Lied.
did a bad? Yeah. Good.
We're good, right?
We're good, right?
Santa,
Yes.
I think that to do my job would to be continue to do good. So
And can you confirm that you're
you.
Mr. Old Saint Nick?
Saint Nicholas of the Claus family.
I am Nicholas Sparks.
I'm Nicholas Sparks.
Here's
You've been
you've been served. Get out.
Like milk and cook. Are you serving me milk and? No, I'm serving you court papers. I'm sorry.
Court papers.
Well, you can
Last time
take
I
me-
saw court papers were when the elves unionized. My wife is leaving me,
Take this on your way out. What is
and she's taking half the
bag of
elves.
coal?
And she's taking all the elves. She's getting custody of the elves.
I've lost the factory.
I only get to see him every other weekend. For those
Christmas
listening-
delayed this year because Santa wasn't feeling up to it.
He's at the South
There's layers
Pole.
to that. Yeah,
in this,
it's
like,
him.
Small little shack with like 4 elves left.
Jude and I both, Levi says he lives in a small little shack, and Jude and I look at each other.
I forgot that you guys live in
We do live in
Yeah.
shacks.
Yeah,
Since
and
I read
I'm
that
Santa
book,
Claus.
I was-
because the wives took the house.
The wives,
Because
our wives,
No, our wife.
when we were reverse Mormons.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I think we should clarify for the listener. If you hear some strange sounds in the background,
It's my tummy.
we are at the North Pole, and those are the elves. It's Levi's marsupial pouch.
marsupial pouch.
No, downstairs, the catering kitchen and operation that runs here at the shop is going right now. People are down there working. So if you hear anything, that's what it is. Don't be too surprised if you hear like a, some of that factory noises.
Birds. Lots of birds.
So many getting- yeah.
So this is Christmas.
This is Christmas.
Nice.
Thank you.
And
How has
have
your
you
guys'
done?
week been? We'll get to Christmas in a second.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll save that. Let's talk about Christmas.
Okay.
So this is Christmas.
What have you done?
What have you done?
another year over.
Another
I don't
year
know
over.
the rest.
Is that the next lyric?
Yeah.
Really? That's depressing. So this is Christmas. Another year over.
Another year over. And what have you done?
What have you done?
So this is Christmas.
So this is Christmas. What have you done? It's another year over. And then I don't remember the next line. I was hoping that you guys would have the next line.
It was all just for fun.
I know that it ends with a rhyme with that scheme, but
And here is a gun.
and here is a gun. Yikes.
So this is Christmas.
So-
Just Santa.
Has there been anything about this Christmas season that has been on your mind that hasn't been in the previous ones?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well,
Every year feels less and less like Christmas.
that is...
Yeah. This one most of all for me.
And it's horrible.
Do we want to talk about that?
Because I love Christmas. I really want a white Christmas.
Yeah.
Like snow, you mean, right?
Yep. Yes. That's what I mean. As opposed to what?
I don't know.
Yeah. Me neither.
Flour.
Highly flammable.
Can you imagine? Flowers falling from the sky. One guy lights a cigarette or something. All of Oregon
All of Oregon
blows
gone.
up. No, yeah, this Christmas has been different for me as well. But I think I do kind of relate to that sentiment of like every year it feels a little bit less like Christmas because we're getting older. And this Christmas is this Christmas season has taught me to find the ways that like Christmas is different but still magical, kind of, if that makes sense.
Magical?
Well, I think that magical is just a nice word to use for it because I do think that there is something remarkably and exceptionally beautiful about this holiday. Do you not?
No, I do. I just don't like hearing you say it. Jerry, for the audio listener, is a notorious Christmas Grinch.
I've never been a Grinch.
He hates Christmas.
So to be a Grinch means, we've talked about this before, but to be a Grinch means to hate Christmas and to want to make other people's Christmases worse.
Okay.
That's what the Grinch does. He wants to spoil Christmas.
Yes.
And now, the 2 points I just made, even if you concede the Grinch has to make other Christmases worse, people's Christmas worse, I don't even hate Christmas. I've always loved Christmas.
Prove it.
Prove it how?
Prove it.
How do I prove it?
I don't know. Find the Christmas spirit. Get Santa in here. Do something to...
Yeah. Get Santa to vouch for you.
Can you hear that? Clippity clop 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 up on the rooftop. It's old Saint
It's all something.
It's old Saint Blanc. Santa Claus.
Hey, little boy.
Santa.
Santa Claus.
Hey, little boy. Speaking into a cup.
Santa, why do you have a cup?
Well, I lost my voice box years ago, and I thought it'd be... giving the presents back to you. The people.
Back to the people.
I was born in the North Pole.
Merry
You
Christmas,
simply
Jerry and
adopted
Levi.
That's his motivational speech to the elves.
I was born in the North Pole.
Ever since my wife divorced me, I've turned to
Santa, after the
ethical
divorce,
methods.
he turns into Bane. You simply adopted it.
You merely adopted the Christmas spirit. I was born with it.
How do I
Molded
prove
by
it?
it.
Here's the thing. The whole Santa thing, that is not the Christmas spirit.
That is
to me.
lame, and it is not.
No, it's not lame. I think people should have fun with that. Like, I mean, it's like Easter. We
Yeah, we
celebrate
think
what's
you're
most
like-
important about it. But, you know, with kids and stuff, you still do a fun little Easter egg hunt or whatever.
I
You don't
guess,
teach them about the Easter bunny and how he
Santa's
saved
not
their
lame.
lives
Just
or
like
whatever.
the Christmas spirit. Yes, it's not Santa. It's
Exactly.
like-
And that's the thing that I don't exhibit. I don't exhibit like, I mean, I do like Santa hats actually. I just can't wear any hats because none of them fit. The only guy in here wearing a hat right now is me. Beanies, most of them fit, but like beanies, like fitted hats. There's not a fitted hat in the world that I've found that fits
I
me.
like how the Santa's hat is like basically a beanie.
It's not though, because beanies are knit and stretch. Santa hats are not knit.
All right.
But they have that ball on the end,
That is true.
like a
And they
beanie.
flippity flop.
Oh, like none of the beanies I wear.
Well, you're not the patriarch of beanies. I don't know.
Oh, I am. But like the whole Santa Claus, like I don't know, like the flashy clothing and stuff like that, like people like to wear in Christmas time, like that. None of that is really me.
Ugly Christmas sweaters.
I do like to wear a good ugly Christmas sweater.
I like it.
At least twice every Christmas season.
My
Because I
favorite
actually
one.
like sweaters a lot.
My favorite one is always with the little hand mirror that's duct taped on.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is my ugly.
ugly.
Christmas
Yeah,
This is
that's
my
funny.
ugly Christmas.
I found the picture of the ugliest thing I could think of.
Yeah. It's just-
No, but I'll prove it to you.
Okay.
I love Christmas. I love the season. I love the cold. That is archetypical to Christmas, right?
yeah.
I love the cold. I love wearing jackets. I love wearing sweaters. I love being inside when it's cold outside, but there's a little bit of cold air coming through the cracks of the house and you can still feel it. So you have to put a blanket on around you and put on thick socks.
I love poverty.
I love poverty. I love it. I love hearing the wind like rattling the house outside late at night on like December 20th, when it starts to really pick up, that kind of thing. And people want to be around each other more than they do the rest of the year. But I like it because it doesn't feel, even though it is kind of contrived, I guess, but because there's like a reason, I guess, but it feels warm and wonderful. And we celebrate the most important thing to us, that should be the most important thing to us, which is the birth of our Savior, right? Well, one of the most important things to us. And I love the fact that it is about putting others before yourself. The idea of giving gifts, right? If it is celebrated, I think, from a place of like legitimacy, kind of, not just for like, I want an Xbox. Well, we'll get you an Xbox, kiddo. I think it should be taught more, and I love it when it is understand that it is an expression of love, because love is them before you. Their goodness you pursue because of their value.
Thank you, Chad.
That was amazing.
And it is an expression of putting others before yourself. You spend time, like the part about getting a gift for someone that I love is spending the time thinking about, and now sometimes I rack my brain forever and I feel like I can't think of anything. But when you feel like you got it, because you're like, you spent time thinking about something that you really, really care about getting for someone or doing for them, like an act of service or whatever it is. And you just, if you're focused on it for the right reasons, it is because you love them and you want to put them above yourself. And that's why I love Christmas, because it is a time where everybody, almost culturally, at least for the most part, and it's been obviously twisted a lot, but the idea is, or the roots of that are still there. And the idea is like, hey, this more than any other holiday, it feels like, is where we all go out of our way to be with the ones we love and to build them up and to put them above ourselves. I love that. So I love Christmas.
He proved it.
He did the impossible.
The impossible was proving that Jerry Wayne
Christmas.
Crane III loved Christmas.
Yeah.
Do the listeners know that I'm a third? I don't think I've ever mentioned that.
Like you're missing a leg and an arm and half your head. Like
You're
I'm
just
a
you're a
third.
third.
I'm a third of a
You know what's
person.
funny?
There was a Jerry.
Speaking of
it was
thirds,
divided into 3 parts.
I opened up the live stream for the church, and on the video, Bryn looks like she's just a third because she's wearing black pants, and her top was like half black, half gray.
Yes.
So her hand was just
Against
like,
the black background.
Yeah, against the black background. So her hand and like the upper half, like diagonal line of her torso was just.
This
like,
was the live stream for our church service today.
Yeah.
And Britton, the pastor's wife, who was also doing worship today, is what who's Levi's talking about.
Yeah.
Seems a little specific to just Jude, maybe to bring up for the podcast, but whatever.
It's about talking to each other.
Really? Because last week, never mind. So, yes, I love Christmas. And I was talking about something more important before you derailed me and made me prove that I love Christmas. What was it?
I don't know.
What was it?
You just said Christmas. We never really got past Christmas.
No, we did, because we were talking about something about it, I thought.
You said you loved it.
Oh, we were talking about why this Christmas feels different. And I had said this Christmas to me has been teaching me more about what makes Christmas as an adult magical. Because I think for the last few years, it's been like, like once I was in high school, and I mean, in high school is when our parents got divorced. And so that made Christmas feel a lot less magical. But you're already at that age too, where I think some people start to feel that. What?
Middle school.
Well, I was in high school. I'm sorry. But I was already at that age where I think that for some people, naturally Christmas starts to kind of get a little less magical. And then that, just divides everything. And you're like, well, Christmas is depressing in some ways now because the things that made it magical as a child and even like a young teenager and stuff are entirely devoid. And then I've just spent years now where I'm like, the magic of Christmas to me is just like getting to see the faces of the people I love be happy, that's the magic. But now I'm learning more about, it's being revealed to me more just how much more magical Christmas time is, the entire season of it, and to really kind of soak it in. And I think a big part of that last year I started to see this a lot too, but going to the candlelight service at church, it was like just this, it was an environment it was just joyous. It was like the joy of Christmas time was like palpable and in the air. And it was like, everybody is here to rejoice in the birth of Christ and in the gift of salvation that we were given. And this opportunity we have to exemplify the way that Christ humbled himself, even to death, and we should be humbling ourselves and putting others before ourselves, or, above ourselves. And so that last year it was just kind of like my mind was changing a little bit about Christmas. So if I was a Grinch, then it was then, before last year. But this year especially too, I've just been kind of soaking up the whole season and just been thinking about like, taking opportunities to just kind of make other people feel a little bit of that joy. So when we were at the show, I just relished every time I got to like, hey, Merry Christmas, to random people. Because I'm not really that guy typically, but
telling people Merry Christmas.
Because some people are like, oh yeah, Merry Christmas. But then you see other people, especially like older people, that go, like turn back to you and go, oh, Merry Christmas. Yeah. Like you can see it made their day.
It's a special moment.
And it was only like December 2nd. So I think that's why it kind of catches people off guard a little bit. But like to be like, oh, these guys, they believe in it, whether they know we're Christians or not for saying it, which I think maybe, I
think now there's this like kind of,
especially now with the whole say happy holidays thing,
stigma that like, if you say Merry Christmas, probably you have some understanding of it's Christmas.
At the very least, they might have the understanding of like the theme of the season.
Yeah.
But I loved doing that. And so that kind of started off the month a little bit nice for me, thinking about how I can do that more. And so I've just been trying to remember to do something simple, like just say Merry Christmas to people, like random people that I don't know. If I'm interacting with them at the store or something, just be like, hey, Merry Christmas, Yeah.
Yeah, I say it basically to every person I see en route, in every receiver. Because the interaction, I always have an interaction with the receiver, so I end up going, have a good day.
The wide receiver?
Yeah, I
don't know anything about football,
but I don't know any names.
I was going to say a football. I literally don't know anything about football.
I was going to say
a football name. Odell.
Insert sports ball name.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Adele.
Rolling in the deep end.
Yeah.
Rolling in the deep end.
Rolling in the deep end zone. Yeah, so I go, have a nice day, and they go, Merry Christmas, or they say Happy Holidays, and I go, Merry Christmas, and then it's a beautiful little moment. It's nice.
Even when they say Happy Holidays?
If they say Happy Holidays, I still say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I don't.
Nice.
But it's like, unless you're being intentional, it's totally normal. Like, because I don't go,
people don't go,
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Like there are people that do that when someone says Happy Holidays, and like those annoying people that are just like, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
It's like, dude.
What holiday?
Yeah, sure. Make the distinction. That's important. Yeah, say Merry Christmas. Use that as making the distinction. But like,
you're missing the point if you go, a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's ridiculous.
It's not a holiday. Well, no, it is. But
shoot.
Crud.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Happy holidays. Prove it.
Prove it.
Why is it happy?
I've got the receipts. Opens up the Bible.
I've got the receipts.
What is there to be happy about science and Darwin?
You atheist.
You atheist.
I'm a Christian, but corporate doesn't let us say Christmas, ma'am.
Oh. I'm Episcopalian.
Then you're not a Christian.
Whoa.
That's the character, not me. Could be Christians.
I don't even know what the distinction of Episcopalian is.
Only eat fish.
Nope.
That's like
is Presbyterian.
Oh, we can say that because we're Presbyterian. Just kidding. We're not denominational. The podcast is.
The podcast is, though.
The podcast. Were you going to say something, Levi?
What? No.
Okay. I asked you guys before we started to tell me what your favorite Christmas songs are.
Oh.
Because I thought it'd be fun to play those for people listening so they can get to know us in a Christmassy way. So, also this proves that maybe
You're a Grinch.
Levi's the Grinch.
So what you want to do? What was that? Levi's the Grinch. The famous Grinch noise.
I have no idea what that sound was and why I made it. I just like sucked air into my.
You were inhaling?
Yeah, I went. Okay, let's stop peeking the mics. So
Alien.
we'll start with Levi because I think yours is the most. Well, no, I was gonna say the most like Christmas, but honestly, Jude's might be.
Jude's is
the most Christmas.
All I want for
Mine is the least like. Mine is a song that I love and I sing year round. It's one of my favorite songs, and I haven't listened to it for a long time. It's been years, and Perry reminded me of it recently. I was like, this was my favorite Christmas song as a kid, and I love it. And so I was thankful for her reminding me of it. But I've been listening to it a lot because it is a Christmas song, but it's one that kind of like it sneaks up on you in a way that like it doesn't sound like there's not like sleigh bells in the background. So you can listen to it like in July, and it also just feels like a worship song.
If you play the song, I'm thinking I'm going to lose it.
Okay. It's my favorite Christmas song. I've said it before, so I figured you'd know. But
One of my, I think.
so Levi, we're gonna play a little snippet. Don't worry, we skipped the beginning, the part you didn't like. We're gonna play a little snippet from your favorite Christmas song, and then maybe you can tell us why it's your favorite Christmas song.
Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered, he will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know?
I wanted to go to the part where like everybody chimes in because that's probably good. Oh, that's good.
It's talking about you, Levi.
That's a good version, actually.
That is really beautiful.
You were wrong.
Dude, I just...
I'm just kidding. Why do you love that Christmas song, Levi?
Oh, I think that it really exemplifies the real reason for the season.
Agreed.
And I think that it was really... I liked it a lot, and it's also the first time that I actually remember hearing it was when this band had come to my church when I was like 10, and they were like singing a bunch of songs and stuff, and I got their what is it called, their CD, and I don't know, I just feel it really gives a lot of emotion for me, and I like it.
It is an incredibly emotionally like resonant Christmas song. Like a lot of them, because it doesn't feel gloomy, but it is hopeful and beautiful, and that's what I love about it as well.
There's an air of like not gloom, not sorrow.
No,
there's a word I'm trying to think of, and it's not somber, but there's a word that's like, I don't think it's an English word. I think it's one of those like a really artsy word, but
like morose.
No, like melodramatic. Almost.
Melancholy.
I
got you.
Melancholy.
What I like about it,
all about that vocab.
Like
you, Larry.
Not only is it like
you, Larry.
Vocabulary.
thought you were saying you, Larry. I thought it was a
Larry.
VeggieTales reference. I was like, when in VeggieTales did Larry have a vocab segment?
Cucumber.
Oh, he
Cucumber?
did. He
I
had.
thought-
He had.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was in his like silly songs, but there would be vocab
with Larry.
in it.
Silly songs with Larry.
Like one time, they went over the entire definition for the difference between a monkey and an ape.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
important for kids.
If
to
it
know.
doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape. Kite, monkey,
Kite? Oh.
because it has a tail.
Fish? Monkey.
Yeah. But anyway, but what I love about the song, it's like this. Mary, did you know that all of these things were going to happen? Like, because like she was told, yo, all these things are going to happen through your son.
Yep.
Yo.
Gabriel used slang.
Yeah, I bet he didn't.
Oh, yeah. That Hebrew slang. Yo.
Yo.
No, that pre the fall of man slang.
Slay. That pre-fall of man slay.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy is going to be?
But like not only is it like
I don't think he believes, by the way.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
not only is it like Mary, did you know? But it's like also because Jesus is gonna do like all of those things, like even more so, and like it really gives us hope as well, and reminds us that like these things are like Jesus showed up, did tons of miracles, and he's gonna come back and like fix everything. Yeah. And I really like that message a lot because there's a lot of things bad that I wish were good.
Yeah.
I agree. No, it's easily the closest second to my favorite Christmas song. I absolutely love that one. The only reason the one I picked for mine beats it in my mind, which I think this is probably this is a more beautiful song, yours.
Correct.
But the only reason I didn't pick this, because it's usually the first one that comes to my mind, is because the one I picked is, like I said, one that I can kind of like listen to as a worship song more year round. But like embodying a beautiful Christmas song, this is a better pick. It's such a good one. So beautiful. All right, Jude. So tell us why you picked Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells.
Just kidding.
I like the way bells sound.
Jude's is also good. Yours is about the version of this song. So this is a beautiful song,
Yes.
but there's a specific version of it, and it used to play on the radio, right?
Yeah.
Let's listen
Either
to it.
K-Love or The Fish or whatever.
Let's listen to it. Hopefully I can skip through it and find the part that's important.
That's the very end.
Well, there's also in the middle, there's like a bridge or something with that. But
I'm really going to miss spending
at the beginning.
I'll see you guys real soon. Love you guys. Bye.
I am dreaming.
friends in Georgia.
Start it over.
Merry Christmas to my family in Tennessee and to my beautiful girlfriend in California. I miss you all and I'll be home
My
soon.
name is Specialist Brooke Frisk and I'm in Baghdad, Iraq. I would like to wish all my family and friends in Georgia and Wisconsin a very Merry Christmas. I'm really going to miss spending the holiday.
I'll see you guys real soon. Love you guys. Bye.
I am dreaming tonight of a place I love even more than I usually do. And although I know it's a long road back,
All right, I'm going to skip through a little bit.
I always have snow and mistletoe and
He's got a voice,
presents on the tree.
He's got such a voice. You know, I could have done this before. I can just lower the volume real low, and we can talk about it while it's playing.
Wow.
Sorry, Levi.
Nice.
And then I can just raise the volume up again when we get to that cool part. So, Jude, tell us why this song and why this version?
One, I'm a drama queen. I like being sad sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
There's nothing quite like it.
I just like, being moved.
Sad's the wrong word. Moved, emotional. I like to feel things, and it's, sometimes you just don't, and then sometimes you do, and it's very nice.
I'd like to wish my family and friends back in Richmond, Virginia, a very Merry
Major
Christmas.
Norm Young, and I want to send out a Merry Christmas and a
I'd like to wish my family a very Merry Christmas in St. Louis, Missouri, especially my daughter Madison, who will be 4 this Christmas. I'm going to miss opening up presents with her and watching her face and seeing her face on Christmas morning and watch her experience all the new experiences that Christmas brings.
There is something incredibly heart-wrenching about the juxtaposition of some of these calls, which are clearly intonating that I'm going to miss them because I won't be with them Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the calls are about, hey, I'm alone right now in the holiday season, but I'll be there for Christmas. But the whole song is about a promise, about making it, I'll be there for Christmas. And sometimes it feels like it's not really true.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me.
Yeah.
It's like you can hear in some of these voices, like, they say it, but maybe they don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know if, like, this is really sad, but because we're sad boys sometimes. But I'd be curious to know if some of these people, like, never made it home.
It's possible.
Like, I mean, not because that would make me happy or it'd be better, but I'm just curious because it kind of gives off that.
Yeah, solemn. Oh. But only in my dreams.
I just pray every night that God take care of you and the family, and also for all the soldiers' safe return.
It's all about, number one, just this sad, like, I don't know, there's something very special about, I've spent holidays alone, and it's a feeling, but when you do that, you gain a different sort of appreciation for the holiday that you can't get any other way. And number two, the reason I like the song is because I'm a red-blooded American, and I'm a patriot, and I support the troops. And anything I can do to support the troops, that's what I'm here for. Make their voices heard.
I do love that it is a song that's already a classic and a beautiful song, because the message is already beautiful. But it changes it with this version, of like the military people. What was I trying to say? Well, people in the line of duty or whatever. People serving, right? And they're unable to be here because the idea is they're doing something altruistic, something sacrificial, right?
Literally, Spirit of Christmas, man.
Yeah. They are putting the country above themselves, right? And it brings that to light because it's not like people don't know that people are out there that do that, but what it does do is, like, in a time where we're all like, oh yeah, our family, and the people who have a whole family, there are a lot of people for a variety of reasons that don't around Christmas, right? And, Caleb Woodman in our Bible study recently said something about Caleb Woodman? About a proverb that he thinks about during Christmas time, and it's specifically about people who Christmas is sad for them because of things in their life that have changed, right? And let me find it. It's something. Okay. It says, it's Proverbs 25:20, and it says, like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on a wound, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. Ooh. So this idea that at times like this, where it's like joyful, and the idea is that everybody needs to take joy, and right, in a perfect world, when you are suffering from sadness and loss and things like that, we would hope, right? In some cases, this does happen. You grow closer to those who you still have, or who you are with, right? If people are out of the country or whatever. But this is just a beautiful nail on the head, right? For the people who this is a sad time, or for the people that this is a sad time. And like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on a wound, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. I think it's beautiful. And I think this song it's honestly, like bringing attention to that.
So many reasons I like this song. And like, we've only scratched the surface. I could talk about it forever. Part of like everything we said, and then it makes it all the sweeter when you get to be with those people. It reminds you to appreciate your time with those people.
Yep.
And it's just like,
or if you don't get to be with those people, but it reminds you to cherish the time you have with those who you do. Right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
It's a moving song for me.
I agree. All right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's a cold time of year, so my normal that is worse than
Now, Jerry's favorite song.
So let
And
me go
now-
ahead.
Silly
You did
songs
I
that.
want
with
a
Jerry.
hippopotamus for
Christmas.
Christmas.
All right. This is mine. It's from an album that is a very weird Christmas album because it's a bunch of like wacky versions of old Christmas songs, but this is my favorite Christmas song.
Follow the star to a place unexpected. Would you believe after all we've projected a child in a manger? Lowly and small, the weakest of all, unlikeliest hero, wrapped in his mother's shawl, just a child. Is this who we've waited for? 'Cause how many kings stepped down from their thrones? How many lords have abandoned their homes? How many greats have become the least for me? And how many gods have poured out their hearts to romance a world that is torn all apart? How many fathers gave up their sons for me?
He doesn't do it right here, but when he asks those questions again in a future verse, he answers, only one did that for me. And I love this song. I think it's so beautiful. And I do think in a similar vein to to Mary Did You Know, it points to another element of the most important, or what is the important part of this season, and Christ's sacrifice. And I love the line, how many fathers gave up their sons, right? Because it's an element of the sacrifice, that God has made for us that is, of course, talked about, but so often the sacrifice is from the point of view of Christ, right? The sacrifice of suffering and dying, which, I don't mean to belittle that, but also I do love to consider the sacrifice of the Father giving His Son, which is it's a different type of sacrifice. It's like it is the willingness of Abraham with Isaac, right? And how God stopped him, but saw that he was willing in that ultimate faith in God's will. But then God showing it later and doing it for us. And it's beautiful.
I remember in when I was 11 or something, I got allowed to be with the youth group. And it was mostly an outreach youth group. So more getting people to follow Christ instead of building up those that already had a follow, like a relationship.
It's like evangelism rather than discipleship.
Yeah. And one of the, because every once in a while they would show a video, and one of the videos was one to show the father's sacrifice, and it's this dad and his son, his 6-year-old son. They're out. The son's playing with his dad. They show the relationship between the dad and his son. Son comes to work with him, and he is a switch operator. And train's coming, bridge is up, and his son is nowhere to be found, and he's playing underneath where this part of the railing has to come down. But he can't leave because he has to flip the switch to allow the rest of the people that are on that train to survive. So he has to sacrifice his son to do so for the sake of all of the many, many people that are on the train. And
it's like the trolley car dilemma or whatever?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Except
but it actually makes you feel something.
It's a dad and his son, and then it's
just
like
a little boy, and the dad's screaming.
The father's.
You've seen this?
It's a gut-ripping video.
I gotta watch it now.
And no one on the train understands what just happened. They don't even know that the guy sacrificed his son for them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the rhetorical questions throughout the song. Or, I don't know, are they rhetorical, right? Like the how many
depends.
kings?
They can and can't. I think it just depends on different.
Yeah, these questions of being like, asking the listener and kind of convicting them in a way, being like, how dare you not give reverence where reverence is due? Because how many kings can you think of that have stepped down from their throne? How many lords have given up their homes?
How many
gods, little g,
poured
right?
out their hearts.
Poured out their hearts to romance a world that is falling apart. And then how many fathers have gave up their sons? And then he continues, and I think we missed this part, and he says, for me, for you, all for me and all for you, which then brings it back to like this gratefulness, not only like a conviction and not guilt, but a conviction and like a remembering of the sacrifice that was made for us, but then, telling us that it was made for us and how beautiful that is. And so, yeah, that's my favorite. I absolutely love that song. And I think it because it talks about the manger and it is about Christmas time. You know, it is a Christmas song, but I think it's just enough of one that you can listen to it year round. And it just sounds like a hymn or like a worship song. And so back in the day, I used to listen to it all the time. And I think when I switched from like Apple Music to Spotify after high school or something, I just lost a bunch of music that I listened to. And then, like I said, Perry sent it to me recently. I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't heard this song in years and I love it. So I've been listening to it a lot. But it's just such a beautiful song. I love it. And today at church, today was a hard day. Like, I'll be honest, last week I said the same thing. I've just been, it's been a hard month for me so far. It's just been difficult. I've been very overwhelmed with a lot of things. And then last night, I got very little sleep and I had a lot going on. And there's just a lot going on in my life. And today, that was a beautiful reminder because I love that song. And I remember thinking like a few weeks ago, I wonder if I could like make a request to the worship team at some point and to say, hey, can we ever sing this song at church? And I forgot and I never did. And I wasn't even thinking about that today, but I'm like running on very little sleep. I'm exhausted. I'm sitting there and they start singing and stuff. And man, I couldn't help but just cry. I was just standing there singing and crying because, you okay?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Trying to see what time it is?
Yes.
Just the beauty of that song and how beautiful it is and how much I love it. And it was a welcome reminder of, as hard as things feel often, and for me and for others, it's not just me, but I've been thinking a lot about this week, like how hard things feel for me, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, as difficult as they feel, and maybe as much as I hurt, just a beautiful reminder that an ultimate sacrifice was paid out of love for me. And it's not something that I don't know. And when we say things like, it's a good thing to be reminded of, it's not like we forget it. But man, when I say things like that, it's because it's like I was reminded of just the magnificence of it. Because it just becomes like normal in my head. It just becomes like, it is a simple truth of the world. I know that Christ gave up his life for me, and I'm immensely grateful, and I don't deserve it. And that's what makes it so beautiful. But then just there are emotional moments where the magnificence of it strikes a chord in me. And so when I was thinking about it, fatherhood is something that usually gets me choked up a little bit. And it's that line for me that like, how many fathers have given up their son? And I'm just sitting there thinking like, there's only one father who has given his son for me, and I didn't deserve it at all. And none of us did. And it's beautiful. So that is my favorite. I love that song. So those listening, go listen to those songs because they're absolutely beautiful. Excuse me. Because we didn't listen to Levi's whole one, I will go ahead and play it low in the background here since we didn't do that earlier. so that you're not the only one. It's not fair. But I'll skip. No, I'm not gonna. It's a beautiful rendition. Is that the right word? A version of Mary Did You Know? It says, I've never heard this one before, but we looked up Mary Did You Know best version, and this is one of the ones that came up, but it says Mary Did You Know lyric video live at Gaither Studios. Oh, is it the Gaither Vocal Band?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
That was really loud. Sorry about that, listener. So we'll just play that in the background while we continue talking. But, yeah. That ended up being a much longer conversation about Christmas than
Christmas music.
the Christmas music, but I don't think that was bad. I think more than just talking about our favorite little Christmas jingles, I think we had a good discussion there about what makes some music impactful, and then the things that they should, the songs that are good, and I think we each picked good ones. Why they're good is because of what they remind us of. These things that are maybe not easy to forget, but are easy to remember the magnificence of and the significance of, because they just become normal parts of our lives, especially this time of year, and we can remember things without feeling the significance of them. And so being reminded of these things is being reminded of the emotional significance of them. So yeah. Anything else about the songs, or
How Many Kings, for me, is this radical point. Just like this convicting, like you said.
Yeah.
But it's that point where you're a Christian who knows about God, and then it's like you have all the knowledge laid out in front of you, but you've only learned it. You don't learn everything at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you know something, you can kind of think of everything at once. And then you think of everything at once, and then that's when you don't stop, but you stop knowing about God and you start knowing God. That's when when you feel you have a relationship with Him, is when you go, like, I know analytically He died for me. I know that He is my mic on?
Yeah.
Oh, the light's not on for me and I can't hear myself.
Well, I guess we'll find out after this, but it says that it's being recorded.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want to stop real quick and I can check the audio and then come back?
I'm sure it's coming. It's just that moment where you stop knowing about God and you start knowing Him, because you think about everything He's done and it hits you. That's why I like that song.
That's true. Yeah, because it's giving these different statements that are all true, and like the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, right? Different titles, and it's asking the same question about God's sacrifice, but in these different, interesting ways. And so, yeah, I agree. Was there anything else about the music?
You guys chose some real good ones.
What a banger, Levi. Well done.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever called Mary Did You Know a banger.
A banger? I don't think so.
It's a real club song. No, I do love this one.
We're pentatonics and we're about to play a banger. Mary tonight.
No, like I said at the beginning, though, I do think of the three that are here, right there, man. Of the three here,
do you hear us?
I think this is the most. Is it fixed now? This is the most beautiful of the two that are like Christmassy Christmas songs. Because, like I said, mine is less Christmassy for sure. And yours and Jude's have.
Well, the first line of yours is very Christmassy.
I mean, yeah, that's the only reason why you can really count it as like a Christmas song. Well, now I'm experiencing a weird echo here.
The headphones just got like super touchy for some reason. They were on like one click away from low, and you and Levi were destroying my ears.
Sorry, man. All right, so let's move on from this. We've only got so much time today, and I think we've only got about 10 more minutes. So it's going to be one of our shorter episodes, but I think we encapsulated there a good Christmas discussion. I hope our last week's episode was refreshing. It was basically us kind of rehashing a lot of what we had talked or we had heard at the sermon at church. And I think that's a good kind of preparatory before Christmas thing. And then this is just kind of a beautiful epilogue almost for the Christmas season of us going over some of the more emotionally impactful things that we love about Christmas time and the season and music.
Since you're hearing it after Christmas, it's the 1-2 follow-up punch.
Yeah,
Just
we're
like,
hitting you with another cry right after.
I'm getting a wild echo too. I have no idea what's going on, but I hear myself in a tin can half a second after I say something.
That's weird.
Well, we can let's just close it up here. Actually, I think we had a good discussion.
We did,
and I don't think we need to try and jam anything else in here. We're going to pray, but this way we can wrap it up too, and hopefully the audio isn't busted. But if we find out that it is, maybe we can like fix it and record something and add it in or something. I don't know, but let's wrap things up here a little bit with. Don't need to worry about the hypothetical question or anything like that. I do want to say something to our listeners, and I mean, this is something that the two of you have heard, but it's something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and it's, oh my gosh, man, can you just get yourself together? Like, why are you messing with it?
We're back.
You fixed it?
Well, I don't think I fixed it, but
like bumping the microphone around?
Everything sounds normal.
All right. So then the guy in the chair can just cut out those weird, awkward sounds.
Sorry.
Oh,
God. That's still loud, though.
So this is unrelated in a way. Maybe I can find a way to connect it, but it's just something that's been on my mind. I've talked a little bit about how things have been difficult, and I don't want to say things are just difficult for me. I know that, there are difficult things right now for all of us, and they're just different. And if you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about that. But because that's been on my mind, I've just had a lot on my mind lately, and I don't know why I want to say this other than I think it's a beautiful thing that people need to hear, and I don't know if they hear it enough. And I've had a lot of conversations with people online through the Discord who reach out for discipleship or in need of just encouragement and exhortation, and to just be kind of lifted up and encouraged to continue to run the race, and specifically wrapped up in sin, like the pitfalls and trappings of sin. And it's a really difficult thing for the believer. And I know this isn't very Christmas-y, but sin is something that still, of course, plagues the believer. It's not something that, we still sin, is my point. And it's something that you should be convicted about. And when you are convicted about, that is a telltale sign to fix something and to course correct and to do it the right way. To ask God for forgiveness, to repent for your sins, and to take a new course of action and to do what's right. But that can be hard when you are wrapped up in the guilt of sin. And this is just something that I've been talking to people a lot about. And I just feel like that's significant. So I just wanted to say on here one of the things that I've been saying to those people and to myself. And I feel like we kind of talked about this a little bit. You had mentioned something about, I don't remember, maybe I'm misremembering. No, it was on the episode where you were talking about Jude. You were talking about leading your Bible study. I don't know if this was said. Maybe it was. So if I'm repeating it, I apologize. But
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's very in line with.
But it's just a thing that Matt, one of our good friends, and you hear him on the D&D podcast and stuff, and he's heavily involved with Christian Influence, started it. That he told me once that I think this fundamentally changed my life, and because it allowed me to give up a lot of the sin and guilt that I had been holding on to in my life, and actually pull myself up by my bootstraps or whatever, and actually try to change, rather than being like, well, I'm not worth God's effort and I'm not worth redemption, right? And that's something that guilt is something that people who have fallen back into sin, or who just have sinned in a way that they find, like they'll never overcome. And it's a simple thing, but it is just that in those moments when you're sinning, in those moments where you did the thing that you are guilty about, God loves you just as much in that very, very moment as he does in the moments where you are trying your hardest and you feel like you're getting things right. And I think that that's profound, but it's simple and it's true. And it's not something that you really have to like dig through the theology of the Bible to be like, oh, I found this. It's there and it's evident in the Bible. And it's evident by his sacrifice, right? The sacrifice that the Father gave his Son, and it's evident in the sacrifice of like Christ's birth and then his death and his resurrection and the gift of salvation. But while we were still sinners, right, is what it says. While we were still sinners, he died for us. And I want people to remember that. And it's something that even though people know it, it's hearing it is an important reminder. I knew it, but when I just felt at a time in my life where I wasn't worth redemption because of the wrong I had done, even though I know it's like, well, everyone's done wrong, but you weigh yours heavier, and some people struggle with that more than others. But just know that in those lowest moments, and those moments that you are thinking about where that make it so that you are not worth redemption in your eyes. If that's true of you, then it's true of no one. And we don't deserve the gift of salvation, but in those moments that you think about, God loved you just as much as he does when you're doing your best and you feel like you're getting it right. So, yeah, it's been on my mind a lot. And when I got here today, I just felt like I just wanted to share that on the podcast, because it's been a kind of thought that's been rattling around a lot. And like we've talked about before, sometimes you got to just get those out. But it is something, like I said, that when Matt told me, I just went, oh, of course I know that to be true, but I needed to hear it now. And so I hope maybe for either of you, maybe you need to hear it, but for those listening, maybe you need to hear it right now, even though it's tangentially related to our Christmassy topic. So, yeah. Is there anything else from you guys? Sorry, I didn't give you an opportunity to comment there. Okay. Should we pray? I guess for the listener, this is our last episode of the season too that they're going to hear, right? Not the season. I'm sorry, the year of 2022. Because we've got an episode coming out on the 21st, and then this one will come out on the 28th, and then our next one comes out January 4th. Ooh. So this is kind of our preparing for New Year's. So the next episode you hear, we'll be talking about New Year's, but hey, this is the end of a year. So
see you guys next year.
So yeah, you guys want to pray real quick?
Yeah.
Yep. Who wants to open and who wants to close?
I'll open.
I'll close.
Do you want to close? I can close. You got it?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do it.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for another opportunity for us to come together and grow closer together and hopefully closer to you. I want to pray that everything that was said today, all the vast array of topics that we kind of touched on through Christmas music and personal convictions and things that just needed to be shared, that each and every aspect of that will be heard and go exactly where it needs to go and be heard by exactly who needs to hear it, and that you will supernaturally spread anything that could be offered from this podcast to anyone who needs it.
God, thank you for what you've done for us and the opportunities you give us to serve. Thank you that we have a chance to speak to one another and to speak to others. It means a lot to me, and I pray that the times where I'm things are difficult, and I can look at things that are wonderful as a chore. I pray that I won't, and you will continue to inspire me to serve you. And thank you for Jude and Levi. Thank you for the pivotal role they play in my life, and the friendships that I have through them, and the opportunities that I've had because you put them in my life. And I pray that people listening will continue to find value in this podcast, and we won't grow tired of doing it. It won't feel like work, and even if it does, that we will remember what's more important. That we want to we want to be more like you, God, and we want to have conversations with one another that inspire each other to be more like you, and to answer questions when we are feeling lost, and to encourage one another, and to grow closer to the body of Christ. And I want to pray right now, because of the season. I know that those listening are hearing it after Christmas, but God, I pray that for the remainder of this Christmas season, the church as a whole will grow closer together through what is most important right now that we are trying to remember, which is honoring you and exemplifying you because of the sacrifice that you have made for us, and the gift that you have given to us. And I pray that the significance of that won't be lost on people and won't become just part of the normal, like, oh, it's Christmas, and Christ's birth is just part of it, but that they will remember that it is all of it, and nothing is more important. I thank you again for today, and I want to lift up a few people, and God, you know who they are. Work on their hearts and encourage them, God, and give them peace, and push them closer to you and to the right people who will help lift them up. We love you, God, and we want to be more like you.
God, I want to thank you for bringing us through another Christmas season and allowing us to gather together and to talk about you and remember everything that you've done for us and the sacrifices that you've done for us, even when we run from you. God, thank you for chasing after us and still doing everything that you do for us, God. And God, I want to lift up everyone that's listening right now and that's going through a hard time, or because it's a rough season for a lot of us, God. I pray that you're with each of us, and God, thank you for everything. And God, thank you that we three can gather here and talk to each other and talk about you and all the other stupid stuff that we talk about that's not you. And God, yeah. And God, I want to pray that this new year can be good for those that need a fresh start, whether that's in their relationship with you or just to refresh themselves entering the new year. God, please be with all of us and help us remember you more and more and have a deeper relationship with you, God. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, boys. Well, speaking of the new year and a little bit of refresh, this is not so much spiritual, but it is important. Those of you listening, pray for the three of us, because we're starting a new workout plan.
That's right.
I forgot.
And it's going to be interesting, and we're getting up real early to do it. But let's play this episode out with what was hinted at. Oh, no. Here we go. I got it. What was hinted at as being possibly the best Christmas song. And you said it might be mine.
Are we going to sing it again?
You can. All right, those listening, we love you very much.
Watch Pinocchio. Will do.
Will be.
Don't want a doll, no dinky tinker toy. I want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. I want a hippopotamus.
Do people listen to this for pleasure?
No.
Okay.
All right. We love you very much, everybody.
I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are.
That's a good one.